And Adam and Eve went in there and they put their hands on the fruit of that tree that didn't belong to them. So what were they doing? They were defrauding God. They were robbing God of what belonged to God. Is there anybody here? And because of that, look up here at me. Because of that, the Lord put them out of the garden. Los corrió de ahí, les dijo, I can't trust you. Anybody home? You cannot defraud the Lord. Listen to me. You cannot defraud the Lord. You cannot burn God and think that God is turning his head the other way, and then that you're still going to just escape through there, and hey, here I am, tiptoeing through the tulips with Jesus, being Jesus. No, brother, listen to me. There are two things that hurt the work of God in this world, right here. Two things that the devil fights you and me hard with. That's prayer. Some of you will never show your face here at a prayer night. But that's prayer and giving money. He fights you hard. He fights you real hard on those two areas. Because he knows that if he can keep you from doing those things, if he can keep you from giving to God, if he can get you to defraud God, to rob God, if he can get you to do that, it becomes a habit. How many know that people are creatures of habit? Come on, you and I are creatures of habit. How many of you have a favorite TV program that you watch faithfully? You'll go home tonight, and some of you maybe even record it. And you'll go home tonight, and the first thing you do is turn it on to that program. How many of you know there's a favorite place that you like above everything else? It don't matter what place opens, but there's a certain place you just love to go eat. That's a habit, huh? It's a habit. Anybody here? We are creatures of habit. We have certain cycles we get into. See, there are some habits, look up here at me, there are some habits that are a blessing that God blesses. Things that should be a habit in our lives, like going to church, like giving to God, like praying, like getting into his word. All those things should be a habit for us. We should be so, addicted to those things that nothing can break us and make us go into another cycle. Yeah, give him praise. I've seen, not in this church, but in other churches, I've seen where women will leave their purses in their car, in the trunk, and they'll take out the little dollar, that George Washington. They'll take him out, and they'll leave the rest in the car so that they can go spend at Walmart and different places. Hey, listen to me. Walmart is not going to bless you. Walmart is not going to get you to heaven. Walmart is not going to save your children. Walmart, come on. Walmart is just another store that's made to take your money. Amen. But it's a cycle. We have habits. I don't go there. I don't go to Walmart because of different reasons, but that's up to you. You can go if you want to. But listen to me. If I were to go to Walmart after 12 o'clock, I would find a lot of you there. Ain't that a trip? I better not get into that, huh? I'm serious. I'm serious. Now look at this. Will a man rob or defraud God? Will a man rob or defraud God? See, we think he doesn't hold the record of that. We think, no, God don't. But look at this. Yet you rob and defraud me. But you say, in what way do we rob or defraud you? You have withheld your what? Your what? Say it with me, tithe and offering. Now look at this. Your tithe is what you owe God for giving you a job, for keeping you healthy, for giving you miracles, for setting you free, for healing you, for delivering you, for helping you in your everyday life out there. That's what you owe God. Well, give him praise. Now your offering, there's a few pennies in here. Your offering is what opens the windows of heaven. So he can pour out his blessing upon you. Come on. So he can pour out his blessing upon your life. See, look at this. Look at this. I pay my tithe all the time. I don't care. That's one thing that I'll never let go of. Never. Belongs to God. I give him that. Now look at this. Now the offering, there are times, listen to me. There are times, one time somebody gave me $100. I used to live right there on Knox Court, right there. Down here by Julian and that. I used to live in that area. And I'd walk from there up to the church. We were on Knox Court and Alameda and Becca Peppers. We were there in that little church. And I would walk to the church and look at this. From there to Knox Court, I gave the $100 away. Hello. You pray that you don't meet nobody that needs help. I pray that I meet everybody that needs help, because if I help them, God's going to bless me. Amen. See, you and I are different. Somos diferentes. See, I pray, God, if that person needs help. One day I was driving right there on Santa Fe, going to turn on Alameda, and there's this girl collecting money. She had a little basket, was help me. And I'm sitting there, and I don't help just everybody that's collecting money, because they like to and buy dope and all that, okay? But I pray and I ask the Lord, you show me. And one day I was right there, there's this young girl there, I don't know who was with me. And she was collecting money. And the Lord told me, give her money. Pulled up right there next to her, opened my window, and I gave it to her. Well, Lord, I don't know if I can find it. Say this with me. We are heavy duty. We're heavy. And this is why the Lord writes this verse for us. Let's go on. You are cursed with a curse. Look at this. You are cursed with a curse. It doesn't say he cursed you. Say this with me. I cursed myself. I opened the door. Say it with me. I opened the door for the devil to curse me. He's the one that curses people, not God. God never curses anyone. God desires to bless people. Say it with me. He desires to bless me, my family, if I just become a giver, a faithful giver. Are you with me tonight? If I become a giver, listen to me, God will never, never hold back on you. He'll never hold back. I'm proof of that. All right? You are cursed with a curse, for you are robbing me. Can you imagine? You are robbing me. I saw several people get up. I don't know where they landed. You are cursed with a curse. One day, hopefully, before it's too late, they'll get it. And they'll repent and do what God called them to do. Amen. Because every time you rob the Lord, you're hurting somebody that needs God. Imagine, every time you keep from giving to God what belongs to God, you are hurting some soul that's trying to get to God. Anybody here? Amen. Come on. So look at this. You are cursed with the curse, for you are robbing me, even this whole nation. Now let's go on. Verse 10. I love this one. I love this verse. Because look what he says. Look up here at me. He's saying, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you, he's saying. I want to bless you, and you want to be cursed. I want to bless you, and you want to be cursed. God has a calculator that outdoes anything in this life. There's not a scientist. There's not a computer technologist. There's nothing greater than God. Listen to me. He's got everything down. He's got it when you were sitting there with your money full of money, your pocket full of money, and you said, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody says. You want to live in a cursed life. Why do you want to curse yourself? I don't understand that. Yo no comprendo eso. I don't understand that. Why? Let me come over here. These people here, there's some here hiding. Why do you want to curse yourself? Why do you choose to live in a curse? That's beyond my imagination. When I learned that you could be blessed, listen to me. I was saved in 1973. And man, I didn't know there was a recession going. I didn't know. I became a giver. God, listen to me, God blessed me. And I kept giving. And I've been giving. All my life, I've been giving to God. Are you with me, church? And I know that God is a faithful God. But I ask myself, Lord, why do people want to curse themselves? Why do they want to curse themselves? Do you like being cursed? Do you enjoy being cursed? I know nobody likes to hear this. But if you don't know the truth will make you free. The truth will bless you. Come on. Give him praise. Well, Pastor, I don't believe that. Then you don't believe the word. I didn't write that. I said, I didn't write that. I have to give just like you give. Come on. I have to give just like you have to give. You're not the only one on the pole there that, brother, listen to me. If I don't give, I don't have a right to stand here tonight and tell you anything. If I'm not a giver, if I'm robbing you, I don't have a right to tell you nothing. But I don't rob God. I don't rob God at all. Is there anybody with me? I said, I don't rob God at all. Whatever belongs to God, I give it to God. Is there anybody here? And I give him more than I can. You see why? I refuse to live a cursed life. I don't want to be cursed. I said, I don't want to be cursed. You want to be cursed? Don't give. But listen to this. Listen to this. Look what he tells you. You want to get out of the curse? He says, you want to reverse that curse in your life? He says, you want to reverse it? Look what he says. Bring all the tithe. He said, bring all the tithe. The whole tenth of your income. Bring all the tithe. The whole tenth of your income. That's God saying this. Now look at this. Look at this. Look what he's saying to you. The curse is not blessing you. You think you're being blessed, but you're not being blessed. You're being set up for disaster. Come on, I don't care what happens in the world. Listen, we just went through recessions. I think we may still be in the recession. I don't know. I don't even pay attention to that. Why? Because listen to me, my thing is God. I give to God and God takes care of me. Hello. Give him praise. God is good. Look at this. Bring all the tithes, the whole tenth of your income. The whole tenth of your income. He says, don't be like Adam and Eve that went and dipped into the tree, the forbidden tree. It wasn't theirs, it was God's. Remember when Joshua, amen, when he went into Jericho, when they went in there and went around Jericho all those times? Remember that? Well, Achan, God told Jericho, tell the people not to touch nothing. Leave the gold, leave the silver, leave everything. The first city is mine. That's my tenth. Amen. So tell them not to touch it. Well, Achan went in there and he got the gold, the silver, some clothing, some silk, some all kinds of, and he hid it in his tent. So when they would go to battle, they were losing. And they came and asked the Lord. Joshua was the prayer man, and he went in there and asked the Lord. He says, Lord, what's going on? And the Lord says, you don't need to pray right now. You need to go find out who's the one that messed up here. Amen. Amen. So they come all the way to Achan. And Achan says, I did it. I took this. He brought it out. They had the evidence was right there. There was no Walmart in the desert. No First Bank or nothing. He got busted. But check this out. They took him and everyone related to him and killed all of them. They cursed themselves. You don't hurt yourself only. Listen to me. You do not hurt yourself only. You think it's you. You think it's just me and God. No, you're hurting your family. You're hurting yourself. Listen to me. You don't want to give? Don't give. You hold it back. And let's find out if I'm telling the truth. When you can't make it in life, you tell me about it. Anybody with me? Look at this. Bring all the tithe, the whole tenth of your income, into the storehouse. Put right there in the where it says into the storehouse. I want you to write New Hope Ministries. Not the TV program, not all that other stuff that you watch on TV. Listen, not your cable thing that you get, not Xfinity and all that. The storehouse, God's house. Bring all the tithe, the whole tenth of your income into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Listen to me. If it weren't for the faithful ones that come here, that give, you wouldn't be hearing this word. You'd be walking around cursed. There'd be no way for you to say, tonight, I'm going to break the curse in my life. Tonight, why? Because I went to the storehouse of God, and somebody told me I needed to break the curse. Break the curse of the devil off my life. Break the curse of hindrance and poverty and cycles and the curse of always going from one thing into another. So I never get out of stuff. If there weren't faithful people giving here, you wouldn't be able to hear that. Somebody told me there was a church somewhere that says, take all you want. I said, tell me where it's at. I said, I'll go over there and take the whole basket. I'll go get it and tell them thank you, and I'll put it in my car and go para acá. They don't know the mentalities we used to have. Hey, brother, one time I was in Salt Lake City, and I was at the Marriott right across the street from the temple, the Mormon temple that was there. And I'm looking, man, I don't know, the 10th floor. I don't know what floor it was. I was way up there. And I'm looking, man, outside the window like that, and I see the golden angel. They have a golden angel with a trumpet right there. Oh, I could see it clearly from my window. And I said, Lord, thank you. Thank God I'm saved. I said, I'd have gone and stole that angel. I said, man, I'd get me a helicopter and I'd rope that thing. I'd take it. I said, I'd take that thing and melt it. And you know what? Some years went by and somebody did exactly what I thought of doing. They did that. They got busted though. Look at this. Bring all the tithe, the whole tenth of your income into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. And prove me now by it, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven for you. See, who's going to open the windows? I said, who's going to open the windows of heaven? Who's going to open the windows of heaven? Come on, everybody. Who's going to open the windows of heaven? The devil wants to curse you. God wants to bless you. But Pastor, if I give you, I can't put no gas. Yes, you will. You got to have faith in God. Brother, that night, the Lord told me, give me that $1.50. I wrestled with the Lord. I said, come on, God, I'll give you $1, man. I'll give 50 cents for a pop. Back then, you could buy a pop for $0.25. A bag of chips for another 20 cents. I said, come on. And the Lord said, no, I want it all. One time I had 2 shuttles. 2 shuttles, nice shuttles. And the Lord said, give them away. Give them to somebody that can use them. Somebody told me, well, let's sell them. Sell them, and we'll put the money in the funds. I said, who are we going to sell them to? A church? Oh, you mean we're going to sell God his bus? Or his shuttles? I said, how do you sell God his own bus or his own shuttle? I said, why don't we give them away? Why don't we give it to somebody that can use it? Nice bus, power steering, automatic, brother. That bus was bad. They gave it to a church in Albuquerque. They came and picked it up. Wish I had it now. I would have given it to you, brother. Anybody with me? I said, is everybody home? We're so attached. Look over here. We're so attached to the one thing that can bless us or curse us. We're so attached. Estamos tan agarrados. I can't, no. And you don't realize the devil's using that to curse you. I learned. I said to myself, man, if I could give the drug dealer money, if I could give the liquor store all this money, man, and all, why in the world can I give God? I gave the world more than I'd ever give God. And yet God's going to give me more than I ever gave the world. I think I told you the other day of, what's his name, Robert Morris. I heard him, and he was saying that when he first started giving, the Lord would ask him for just the tithe and all that. And then one day the Lord asked him for more than he could give. And one day he went to a place, he was broke. He went to preach in this place, and the guy blessed him to be able 3 times The Lord blessed him with a check to be able to maintain his office and the people there to pay them. And the Lord told him, I want you to give that check to a missionary. Showed him the missionary. So he gave it to him. So another guy's asking him. He says, well, where's the check they gave you? And he's lying to him. He's telling him, well, it's in the car. My wife has it. He kept going like that. And the guy finally told him, he says, no, that's not true. He said, you gave that check away. And he says, yeah, I did, he says. And he said, God told me to write you another check for 3 times more than that check was. So he went on thinking he was really blessed. And one day the Lord spoke to him and told him, I want you to give your house, your cars, and all the money you have in the bank, I want you to give it away. And so the Lord told him who to give it to. So he did. And then he looked up to heaven and he told the Lord, I outgave you, God. And as he's talking like this, the phone rang. And there was another gentleman on the other line that never knew him, but the Lord knew this man. And the man told him, he says, God told me I have to buy you an airplane. You're going to travel in an airplane everywhere you go. And he says, and then I have to furnish the pilot. I have to furnish the fuel. And I have to pay for every time you land somewhere, and they have to take care of it and put it away for you and everything. He says, I have to pay for all of that, the storage. How many know that's a lot? Amen. If you know anything about that, it's a lot. And the Lord, he heard the Lord tell him, I still outgave you. Do you believe that? Yes. How many believe that? He wants to bless you. Believe me, he wants to bless you. When you give your tithe and offering, listen to me, God, you open doors for God like never before. You open the doors for God to help you in every area of your life. Look over here. If he has trouble getting your money away from you, that's the most, listen to me, that's the most sacred thing to most people. If he can get you to give your money to him, then he knows you'll never hold nothing from him. Everything you are will belong to him. But if you withhold your money, then he knows there's other things in your life you're withholding too. ¿Están conmigo? Are you with me? Look at me and say, Pastor, we love you no matter what. We know it's the Word of God. Come on, open your mouth. Tell me I'm here. I'm insecure. I need to hear it. So look at this. Check it out with me. This is God. This is God speaking now, okay? He says, bring all the tithes, the whole 10th of your income, into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. And prove me now. This is the only place you're going to find that God says, prove me. See if I don't do it. He says, prove me now. By it, saith Pastor Ray or Pastor Ed or who? Lord. Oh, who said it? Lord. It was the Lord. It wasn't us. The Lord. The Lord. The Lord. See if I, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven. Can you imagine how big the windows of heaven are? ¿Qué tan grandes están las ventanas del cielo?